Okay, so we find ourselves at a different time than when you guys have played before. For reference purposes, we are a long time in the past, effectively, and we are, from what you guys know, we are at the height of the pre-fall society. There has never been any type of fall problems before, and we start our story with Otter, who, having just been let loose on the world, as it were, has gone out in search of something. What are you out looking for? And for the sake of the audience, what do you look like?
Okay, so Otter was born extremely disfigured, to the point that at birth they put a mask on the child because the face was so disruptive that it is said that even demons and devils shrieked in horror. And it turns out Otter was actually a conjoined twin and devoured his sister in the womb, but still talks to her in his mind. And as a physical condition, he's what's known as cursed blood. He's 4 feet tall, and where his stomach is a giant mouth. And that's the mouth of his sister, Clarice. So with the mouth, he can store things in there, eat things, stuff like that. It's pretty intense. But anyways, Otter was found in the forest by a satyr named Bill. Bill and his wife Precious took Otter in and gave him a home and raised him because they knew he wasn't going to survive out in the wilderness by himself. So being raised around Fae and the Fae lifestyle, he learned a lot of things about nature, being a ranger, stuff like that. He has a very fond, keen connection with insects and various bugs and stuff like that. He was part of what was supposed to be a trade between his biological parents and it sounds like some hag coven to remove a curse or something to that effect. And so now the connection, the exchange went awry, and he was ditched in the forest and then, like I said, found by a satyr. Anyways, so now his goal in life is to find his biological parents and see what the deal was, and also make friends with as many of the ugly and downtrodden creatures as he can. He's not a big fan of fancy beauty as we'd see it today, but he loves nature and hates constructs and a lot of mechanical things, very naturey. So yeah, his quest in life is to find his biological parents and just bring up the downtrodden.
And having set out on his quest, we find Otter on this particular day relaxing next to a stream in a forested area not too far from where your adoptive parents originally found you. Really, the only thing that they could give you was the location, and even the swaddling that you were swaddled with didn't leave much to help with identity. So you're at square one with effectively, this is where I was found, so something was going to go down here. Hanging out by the river, you what would you be doing if you're, first couple of days out of the house hanging out by the river? Like, what would that look like?
Otter would be just enjoying the sights, looking around, checking out different nature, checking out different insects that he's probably not seen before, whatnot like that, just making friends like that. Yeah, and just trying to be out of the general path of where people would travel. So he's a little off the beaten path and remains kind of hidden in the brush. He tries not to bring a lot of attention to himself, and would rather hide or vanish into the bushes or trees or whatever than have to really talk to people.
Would you say that you're like actively trying to hide, or you're just kind of hanging out?
Right now I'm just hanging out, but I'm being very conscious of things around me.
Okay. Roll a perception check. Let's see what insects you're seeing.
That is a 3.
So you're sitting there. You're kind of, now remind me, are you wearing boots or are you barefooted?
No, I'm wearing boots.
Okay, so you're kind of hanging out on the rocks next to the river, shoes just barely out of the water, and you notice that from where you're sitting, it looks like there must be something wrong with this water, because there doesn't seem to be any insects hanging out here. You see a couple of mosquitoes flying around, but water looks like it's dead.
Can I do an investigation of the water?
Yeah, perfect. So, behind you, off in the woods, you hear a branch snap. And turning your head, you can see now the form of 3 figures kind of sneaking through the woods in your general direction. What do you want to do?
What kind of figures?
They appear to be humanoid. They're covered in cloaks, right? So you can't necessarily see their faces, but these are, full-grown adult humans.
Okay. All right, I whisper to Clarice, I go, "It's time to let our friends free." And with that, I open up my shirt, the mouth opens up, and a swarm of bees comes out.
Okay.
The swarm then just encircles me as I stand up and I look towards the three people approaching me.
Okay. Now, having stood up and getting a better look at them, you see two of them seem to be carrying what look like maybe fishing nets or like trapping nets, but the kind that you throw. And the other one is carrying a heavy spear. Looks like it's a hunting party.
Okay.
As you stand up and they see you, they take a start and then they freeze. They currently are seeing you, but they aren't doing anything.
Okay, well, I will then keep eye contact with them, but I'm going to move sideways as opposed to backwards. So if here's the river and here's me, I'm going to go this way, sideways.
Okay. And that would be kind of so are you going to go sideways with respect to them? Like, because if you're standing there, like, the river is in front of you.
Here's me, here's them.
A little bit more maybe to your right. Like, they're coming more perpendicular towards the river.
Are they on the other?
No.
Are they on the other side of the river?
Nope. It would be like if you went vertically, like it would be river, then you shortly right there by, and then kind of in the same line as from you to the river, they are, but just a little bit up.
Oh, okay. Right. So they're coming this way.
Yeah, they're basically, they've got you sandwiched between them and the river.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I thought they were coming head on.
Yeah, no, they're not walking along the river. They were walking towards the river, maybe 10, 15 feet ahead of you. But yeah.
Okay, then if they're coming this way, I'm going to go away from them. And I'm like, pardon me, I'll let you guys conduct your business. And I move back about 15 feet or so.
And then I'm going to need you to, as you start to take that step, they're gonna lunge at you.
Okay, so initiative, huh?
Yup.
All right. Where I go? 4.
Then I'm gonna put you to use over here. Yeah. You roll those two.
I love these.
That's I got a 15 and a 4 is 19.
Good. Okay. So, one of the guys with the net goes to throw it in your direction.
What did they get for initiative?
20.
Oh, okay.
Of
course.
And I got a witness, just so you know. Like,
oh, no problem.
Okay, so they are gonna throw the net at you. Actually, they're gonna take about their full distance. They're gonna try to close the distance as much as they can and throw the net. So that is a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, that one misses you. The guy with the spear is going to run in, and he's going to get he's going to try to cut you off, right? So he's not running in directly next to the guy who just threw the net. He's going to try to get around you a little bit, and he's going to use his full dash to give you he's not in contact with you, but he's going to be about 15 feet ahead of you, trying to trap you in. then it's your turn.
Okay, so just 2 guys attack, not all 3?
Two of attacks so far.
Okay, good to know. All right, so with the first one, the guy who's 15 feet away, I draw my bow, the wing clipper, and proceed to shoot him. We'll try to.
Okay.
And I get a 15 to hit
That hits.
for 9 damage.
Okay.
I take a half a step back and I command the swarm to go attack the second guy who tried to throw the net on me.
Okay.
So immediately after you hit a creature with an attack, I guess this has to go to the guy I just shot.
Okay.
After you hit a creature with an attack, the attack's target takes 1d6 piercing damage from the swarm. The
Okay.
attack's target must succeed on a strength save against your spell save DC, or be moved by the swarm up to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice.
He apparently is afraid of bees. And he flees like a little girl 15 feet in that direction.
Alrighty. Was that his reaction then?
No, that was your whatever you just did.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to move him. How close is he to the water?
Oh, you could probably move him 15 feet into the water. And he wouldn't be deep in the water, but he'd probably be up to his knees.
Yeah, so if he fails the save, then he is moved by the swarm.
Yep.
They pick him up and they move him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's moved by the swarm up to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. So if he's close enough, I'm going to drop him in the water.
Okay. So he would be on his ass in the water.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I imagine he's prone then.
He is prone.
All right, and it says, you are moved by the swarm 5 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. But I'm going to negate that, and I'm just going to have the swarm come back to me again.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. The other guy is going to run up with his net and, well, pink one there. He's going to try to get you. And that is a 14 to hit.
Nope, I have 15 armor class.
Okay. And now there are 2 nets on the ground. The first guy who threw the net is going to use half of his movement to get up, and then the other half to go over to where the net is that he was on the ground and pick it up.
So is he within range of me getting an attack on him?
No, he's still like 5 to 10 feet back from you.
Okay.
The first guy.
Didn't know if I had an attack of opportunity or.
No, they're trying to stay away.
Okay.
The guy with the spear is gonna run over and pick up the net. You would have an attack of opportunity on him.
All right. So would that just be me, or would it also be the bees too?
I think it would just be you.
All right. I try to shoot him, and it's 18 to hit.
Hits.
11 damage, piercing.
Okay. And he takes it like a trooper. But now he has that net in his hands, and
I mean, was retrieving it his action then?
yeah. And he is gonna say, he's gonna like kind of again move around you to get into a position where his other friend helps to like trap you in up against the river.
Sure.
Readying to throw that net. The guy who had thrown. Your turn.
All right. So, is the guy in the water still prone?
No, he stood up. He
All
went
right,
back
well,
to pick up. He went back to pick up his original net.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay.
We'll try to. Ooh, a 21
That is.
for 11.
Okay.
And then the bees then attack. Now from swarm. So then the swarm attacks and they do 1d6. I don't think we did that last time. Well, they only do
Okay.
1 point of damage on him.
Okay.
And then they move him back into the water.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, and then I look at the head honcho of the party and ask him, like, is this how you greet every new person? And that's it.
Yeah. As he runs in and he attempts just to jump on top of you. It's like, let's get this one. We'll get a lot of money for it. And he is going to attempt to grapple. My words totally gone. And that go ahead and you roll. Let's do the blue one this time.
You want me rolling for you?
I want you rolling for it, sure.
Oh.
Okay, and that is a 17. Actually, 19 to grapple.
It's a what? I'm sorry.
A 19 on a grapple.
Okay, do you want a strength off or just my armor class?
Well, that would be the attack. So.
Okay, so yeah, my armor class is 15, so obviously
Yep.
he gets me.
Okay, so he's got you restrained. That will end his turn. The first guy, now yet again in the water, is going to throw the net over him and you. You can attempt to avoid the net, but you'll have disadvantage.
Okay, what would you like?
Actually, no. He would if you're being held, go ahead and roll both of those. If you're being held, it's just an attack. But this one hits. So now there is a net on top of the two of you.
Okay.
The guy with the pike comes in, and he is going to club you over the head.
Okay.
Roll again for doubles. Is that one?
Well,
Local battery. Okay, well, we're going to have to go for lunch here in a minute anyways. So he strikes you on the back of the head, and we can do damage, but at this point, I'm just going to, we can try to cut things short. They continue to hold you and subdue you, kicking you and beating you until you pass out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You wake to find yourself bound and in a sack. You're on something that's moving, but that is all that you can ascertain. It has gone from bright day now to pitch black of night. But what is maybe disconcerting to you is that you don't hear any like of the normal night animals. You don't hear crickets. You don't hear the owls or wolves far off in the distance, or even the night birds or bats. Like, it just seems like this eerie silence and a clipping sound as you go. You were apparently in what appears to be like a burlap sack on some type of transportation. What do you want to do?
I imagine I don't have any of my equipment with me.
You do not.
So let me look here. How thick is the burlap sack?
It's hard to tell. You can tell that there's no light coming in, but if you grab it between your fingers, like you try to pinch a little bit of it, it feels, I'm going to say, it feels like it's this thick, which is roughly like 2 plies of leather. So it's a heavy sack. It's holding your weight, but if you had a knife or something, you could probably cut through it.
Okay, so interesting. I can do Mage Hand, and can I do it so it unties the pouch that I'm in?
You can certainly try to untie something that you can't see.
Right. Right, so what do you want me to do?
You just gonna see what happens, or are you gonna try to do something? Is the question, I guess.
Well, I'm just gonna try to conjure it and then untie, and if I fall on the ground, I fall on the ground. I mean, I'm already beaten up. I don't know how much damage I've taken, so.
Technically, you've had a full rest.
Yeah.
Because you've been out for that long.
Oh, wow.
All
right, so
you have full health, and all your spell slots.
All right, but my spell save DC is 12. Do you want me to roll that with disadvantage to see if I untie it?
Well, I would say go ahead and roll with disadvantage, but the DC is going to be high because you can't see what you're untying.
Okay.
And I don't know that Mage Hand has any type of touch feedback, haptics to it. So you could be trying to untie just thin air.
Yep. All right, well, we'll try here. Oh, I got a 19 and a 12.
Okay. You roll a d6 for me, would you?
Me?
Okay. So, as you untie it, you feel from behind your head, there had been this kind of like hard, bumpy pillow. You feel the hard, bumpy pillow fall off of whatever you're on, and that is it.
So the bag doesn't fall to the ground or anything?
You get the impression like the bag that was next to your bag is the one that you untied, and that's the one that fell to the ground.
Okay, good to know. Well, at least I tried.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Machine.
Okay. You hear them talking, but they're speaking a language that you don't know.
Okay.
Meanwhile, underneath, sitting underneath a mushroom tree in the Underdark, we have
Anansi. Do I have a host giver?
Yeah, you do.
So Anansi is a bipedal, arachnid-like creature of very tiny size. She has taken over a drow druid host that she has found in the Underdark to go and traverse the above world in service of love.
And Anansi has been heading towards a known, like heading down the road towards a known location, Hagpool. Hagpool is known for having, from the Underdark, it is it's kind of a weird anomaly. A lot of the ways to access the surface are just long tunnels, and at the bottom of them or somewhere along the line there is a trader outpost or a small village, usually inhabited by drow or durgar, sometimes inhabited by other folk, but not the passing is not necessarily problematic, because it is usually understood that you're pretty much free to pass as long as you pay the tax. Hagpool, on the other hand, is known as being a location where, in order to cross, not only must you pay the hags, but you must swim the pool. So the hags have like a hut on either side of the pool, and they may make you pay twice because they may not believe you, or they might just make you pay twice even if they do believe you. So the crossing is always relatively problematic, but happens to be the closest to where you're at if you want to get up. What you're just a little bit off the road because you not overly excited to meet people on the road. And what you see, you're about half a day's distance from Hagpool or so. What you see are a small caravan of driders with a number of packs attached to the side of the carapace, and they're just kind of marching along. And you were watching as one of the bags just seemed to fall off on its own. This was in the so there was 2 driders, and this was on the first drider, but when it fell down, the Durgar who was riding the second one, he was packing his pipe and wasn't really paying attention. So this parcel fell, and is sitting kind of on the road as the driders are kind of, they're making their way, but not at a fast clip. They're just kind of heading down the road towards the town that you had most recently been in. What would you like to do?
First question include, do I have any money on me?
Yes. Roll 3d12. Everybody wants to know about their monies.
All right.
I have 5, 6.
So you have 11 times 10, which is 110 gold.
Okay. How much do I have any idea how much the hags will charge me?
The hags did. Let's roll an insight check or a history check to see if you've paid attention when you've heard about this place.
So, what's 13?
13. You know that they're gonna probably ask you more for a thing or like service
Okay.
than they are necessarily interested in money.
I'm gonna go try.
Are they gonna haggle?
Yes, there's a high possibility that they might haggle. Okay, so roll an investigation check.
6.
Okay. Inside the container, you find a couple of chests which are filled with like some kind of weird powder, right? You don't really know what it is. Some of it smells like it might be food, but looks kind of just chests of powder. You also find a small bag of implements and a bow that looks really nice.
These are mine now. So they're heading towards where I came from, and I'm just heading away.
Yep. If you wanted to continue heading towards Hagpool, yes.
Yes, I head towards Hagpool.
Would she have seen the mage hand do that?
Yeah, you would have seen the mage hand.
But I know what I should do if we want the story to get together. but I also know what she would do.
Fair enough.
Which would be, I got mine. I'm going to hang.
Okay. Fair enough. So, meanwhile, back inside the burlap sack, Otter is continuing down the road. You get to
Anansi.
Anansi. It's hard to pronounce. Anansi. So, Anansi, you get to the pool, and there is a simple looking shack out in front of it. As you approach the shack, you see that there's some stables. There's a little ways away from the shack. There's like a little like trader's tavern that's set up, but it's like away from, like, there's a shack and then there's a trader's tavern. As you're headed towards the pool, you kind of like you're give me a perception check.
17.
Okay. As you're walking towards the pool, you don't. At first, you see some rocks, right? Like the standard rocks, and you move a little bit more, like you're just kind of minding your own business, and like as you're scanning, like you look back and you see that one of those rocks is way closer to you, like way closer to you. What do you want to do? It doesn't appear to be moving.
But it's way closer to me.
Yes.
I walk faster, but my sight is trained on the rock.
Okay. And as you do, another rock happens to be under your foot and trips you. Give me a dexterity check to see how hard you land.
11.
11. You manage to catch yourself without injuring yourself, but immediately as you like look up, you see this rock standing over you, and it's not like, it looks like a rock. Like, you've seen a lot of rocks before. You're familiar with what rocks look like. But this one, it looks like it's looking at you. Like, you get the distinct sense that this rock is like paying attention to you. Like, you kind of move and you so you see the rock kind of like some element inside it like moves and follows your attention. As you get up, what would you do?
Good morrow, big rock.
The rock is, as one would expect, quite solid.
I try to edge around the rock.
It does not allow you to get around it, as well as the other little ones now. They are all kind of corralling you.
I try to climb the rock.
As you go to climb, like the handhold that you put your hand on, it shifts down. Like, you're climbing up, but that part of the rock is going down.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see. Let me have the rocks roll a persuasion check. Yes, they are quite persuasive.
I go towards that.
Entering the hut, you see a what looks like a pile of clothing or like discarded goods just there, like in the middle of the hut it's a hut, but in the middle there is just this pile of like clothing and things.
Mm-hmm.
And like stepping in, you feel uncomfortable. Like it is something about this place is just unnerving. And you hear,
there is an interesting smell. What do you have for me?
Hand over the chest with powder.
This is not something I will eat.
Something you would eat. Okay. Besides more meat soon. So, what would happen if
I see the speaker, but not the speaker. Who is puppeting this flesh puppet?
It is I, Anansi, for moment.
so if you want, you can crawl like onto the tongue and open up
Okay.
to show yourself.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
A searcher. It has been a long time. Have you found anything yet?
Not yet. On my way to find it.
You get another smell, like, and this one, like, it's coming from like the clothes, they billow up a little bit, and you can see some of the frays like being pulled in, like into the clothing, in this massive pile. And you hear the sniff of,
You come across something unique. Show me.
Throw out the nice bow.
Yes. This has been touched. Bring me the wielder of this bow, and I will give you passage.
and with that, you and the bow find yourself being flung out of the hut,
Okay.
forcefully, as a bunch of like scarves that have been hung from the rafters, as well as like some ropes and belts
Okay.
that are a part of this thing, just fling you out of the hut.
quite rude. I say that, turn around, and I start walking.
The door slams behind you.
I guess there's no other choice for this passage. These rocks were very convincingly in my way. So I start heading back down the road. I pick up the bow. I pick the bow back up.
And as you, do you say that out loud or are you thinking it?
I'm taking it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I pick up the bow, and I start heading back the way I came.
Okay. So, it's been a number of hours now. From Otter's perspective, the caravan has settled down, and you can clearly tell now that there are only 2 people who are speaking. They're still not speaking a language that you will recognize, but they have you can tell from your perspective that they have taken the goods off of whatever was carrying them. You are dropped on the ground, not in a friendly way, but not in a way that does really any damage. But you feel the irregular nature of the rocks underneath the burlap, and it's really hard to tell if you're paying attention. Like I have a blank stare, and it is so disturbing looking at my camera. None moving, non-blinking, so disturbing. Anyways, as you're there and you feel a little bit of the moisture between the rocks start seeping into the burlap itself. Anything you would want to do, Otter?
What kind of liquid is it?
It's just regular water.
All right, I try to lick up a little bit, lap it up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. And you can do so. You can by like soaking the burlap in the water and then licking off the burlap, you can get a little a drink. These
and then I give some to Clarice.
What sounds does Clarice make as she's numbing the water?
It's pretty grotesque. It
Slurping
sounds
sound?
like you're pulling out a boot out of muddy water.
Gotcha. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can see now the light source of a fire and the crackling of a fire. One of the individuals seems to be yelling at the other. Pull a perception check.
Do a what check?
I'd like you to do a perception check.
12.
12. So you can tell that the one who seems to be doing the yelling has smacked the other one upside the head. He is pretty pissed. And the one who's being yelled at is, like, you can tell just from the tone that they're a little snivelly, right? And apologetic. But you now smell a little bit of burning meat or meat cooking over the fire, as the one who had gotten yelled at now seems to be closer to the fire and appear, maybe from where your perspective, is probably cooking. The other one has stepped away from the fire, and you can't necessarily tell what they're doing.
At this point, Otter openly starts talking to Clarice, saying, I know, sister, you're hungry too. I'm hungry, and I can smell that meat. We always did love the meat. I'm like, I'd prefer mine a little more raw, as you would, but at this point in time, I'm game for anything, honestly. I'm just hungry, and I know you are too, because they can probably hear my stomach rumbling.
Yep. In common, You hear, "Hey, you, shut up."
And I respond with, "No, Clarice, I think he's talking to me, not you." Loud enough that he can hear it.
Yeah, and you would have advantage. Jesus, you hear him throw a rock, but it clatters kind of in your vicinity. It doesn't actually hit you. I said, "Shut up."
I go, "Buddy, I'm trying to, but my sister will not shut the fuck up. She says that meat smells great, and she just wants to get some food."
He's gonna take a smack at you, and does a bunch of damage, a number of damage equal to a number. Let's see.
And where does he smack me?
He's not aiming. He's just hitting the burlap sack.
Sure, but I'm just wondering because if he hits Clarice, she'll have a bite attack.
Let's see. Yeah, smacks you in a part that is Clarice.
Okay. She straight up just bites his foot and clombs onto it.
Okay. He
And how much
does.
damage is taken?
Let's check in here. I'm trying to calculate. I'm gonna find my dices. Okay. He does 3 damage to you.
Okay.
And go ahead, you can do your damage.
What's a bite attack? D4, D6, D8?
I would say, due to Clarice's size, let's make it a D6.
Okay.
It would be like a D4 if it was a normal person.
Okay. 1 again.
1. Okay.
That dice is going to jail.
Are you gonna stay latched on, or are you just gonna do a single bite?
Oh no, she's clamped down because she's hungry.
Okay. He is
And I
gonna
go-
smack you back, and he is going to hit you twice. First one is they both hit, and that will be 10 damage.
Okay.
And as he does it, you hear him scream out, what you hear him say a word that he has said before. It could be somebody's name, as well as a couple other words. And now you hear the guy who was doing the yelling a little bit off in the distance say something, and sounds like he's starting to come in your direction.
Okay. So, 2 trains of thought. Otter then goes, "Dude, I told you not to piss off my sister. Now look what you did. She's clamped onto your foot." And then Clarice goes ahead and tries to bite his foot again, like chomp down even harder on it.
Okay. I'll let you, since you're already chomped, I will let you roll an attack with advantage.
Alrighty. Wow. 2 3s. How horrible is that?
Well, no, it makes sense because the guy seems to have a little bit of armor on, and
Yeah.
you're chomped onto the part of the heel or the shin guard where there's a
Okay.
little bit thicker leather. So he's gonna take another couple of swipes at you, try to knock you free. First one
Am I-
hits. Second one hits. Total of 9 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I got 4 hit points left.
and you hear him say, "Let go and shut up," in common.
I go, dude, I was trying to tell you. You don't want to deal with my hungry sister. Obviously, you just got a taste of it. But you try to be in a bag with her. She's just nagging me all the time. We smelt that meat, and she's just getting hungry. Stop being a dick.
You want meat? I'll give you some meat. Let go of my leg.
All right.
Okay.
Please let go.
And as he stumbles up, he's gonna kind of give you a like pat with the mace, right, to like kind of push you back away from him, but doesn't do any damage. Some time passes. A little bit of time passes. The other guy shows up. He comes over, and you hear him knock a crossbow, right? Like the clinking sound of tensioning up the string, the slight twang of setting the arrow in, and you hear his leather like shift as he like trains it on you and says, "Try that again, and we'll see what kind of meat we're eating."
I go, man, you guys are just a bunch of dicks. I was just hanging out by the river. You came to be a butthead. I'm like, whatever, man. Me and my sister just want to eat. I go, oh, by the way, fuck you and your crossbow.
He's gonna shoot the crossbow at part of.
Oh,
That's good. He's gonna shoot the crossbow at part of the bag, like towards the top of the bag. And,
Am I in the bag still, or am I out of the bag?
oh, you're still in the bag.
Okay.
He shoots like through like the top knot of the crossbow, or of the burlap sack, and just below where the knot would be in it, you feel the impact of the crossbow bolt just above your head as it impacts and digs deep into the ground, intentionally trying to send you a warning message.
I go, yep, pretty tough. In a burlap sack, all tied up, and you're shooting at me. Yeah, you're pretty tough.
And he goes over, and you hear him in that same jovial tone that he laughed in. You hear him say something to the other one, and the one that was cooking, and he responds with like this weird, like up-pitched tone in his sentence. Kind of, it reminds you of the types of things where it'd be like, "Yeah, I just shot that fucker in the head. Yeah, I kicked him a couple of times." So you imagine it's something along those lines.
Oh, totally.
But a little bit of time passes, and you hear them starting to munch on their food. One of them comes over with the mace out and kind of softly pokes you in the like shoulder abdomen area and says, "Now you behave." And he takes some of the meat and they like push it in through the top, like it's a burnt, crispy portion of like maybe leg meat. Does that make sense? Like chicken leg meat. But it would be like a big chicken, right? Like this particular strip of meat is maybe 6 to 8 inches long and 3 inches around, right?
Oh, okay.
Slightly crispied on the outside, not really seasoned that much, but hard enough that they can kind of like jam it in. Almost, yeah.
Okay.
Were you a normal human, it probably would not be overly appetizing.
All right. So, yeah, obviously, Otter takes it, eats half of it, throws the other half into his stomach. He's like, for Dix, you're okay.
Yeah, you hear the clip clapping as these two large lumbering things come and nestle in next to you. Basically kind of pinching you between the two of them. You also feel like there might be some arms or something, or a bar that has gone over you, and you're feeling quite restricted. The fire is put out, and it seems like folks are going to sleep.
Okay, and I'm still on the ground now, or?
You are still on the ground, but you're feeling more restricted than you were before.
Like, can you loosen this up? A guy's got to up a deucer, okay? So, if we can handle the business, that'd be great. And then I'll get back in the stack.
You get no response. Are you going to defecate your bag?
I don't know. I make like some fart noises with my mouth. I'm like, come on, guys, that meat's creeping up on me. This is gonna get real nasty.
You still hear no sound.
I'm like, okay, well, you get a magic treat when you open this bag. It's like a bag of Halloween candy you left in the car over summer. Forgot about.
Cars? What are cars? So, are you trying to, intimidate or persuade?
Probably...
Or are you just talking smack?
All the above. I just want to get the fuck out of the bag.
Okay, roll a check and tell me what you want to try to do. You want to try to intimidate or persuade?
Or do a deception.
Or you could do a deception.
I mean, deception's my worst, but fuck it. That's kind of more of what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it's horrible, so it's going to be a 2.
You hear one of them shift a little ways away, but nothing. For sake of narrative, as you continue to squeal about and shift and roll, let me know if there's anything else that you want to try on this.
Okay, so I'm going to call on one of my swarms of creatures that can come out of Clarice's mouth. And I'm wondering if ants would be able to loosen that up, or at least bite their way through. You think they would? All right, that's what I do. I let out an army of ants to start eating away at one section of the bag.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to at least loosen it so I can make my way free.
Okay, sounds good. So while you're working on that,
what's up, Haley? You having fun?
I was trying to figure out if spiders can smell.
That's a good question.
Because science says they can smell. I was like, well, can they smell better than humans? But I'm like, they don't know.
So, you're making, I mean, there are other folks traveling on the road, but in your current form, nobody really wants to cross you necessarily. They see you and then they just kind of yeah, I'm not going to pay attention to that thing. You make relatively good time, and it's not long before you pass where you had originally encountered the bag that had fallen off of the drider. And if you keep going, you'll probably come to it. More time passes. You have a very uneventful walk. Like, this is a pretty busy stretch of road for Underdark roads, and without too much more time, you notice a little ways. First, you smell the smoke, or the remnants of ash. Then, shortly thereafter, you see kind of the forms of these two driders nestled like a little bit up against one of the walls, like a little bit away from the main road, but kind of in a place where at least part of their back is to a wall. Which, I mean, honestly, is, if you're gonna take a nap, that's probably the best place to take a nap.
Yeah.
But you see two driders, you see two Duragar sleeping, and kind of halfway between the two, a small like ash pile, and it's hard to say, like, so from where you're at, really hard to see anything else.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
So, based on what I see and my recollection of that afternoon, I want to see if my character would think that this nice bow belongs to one of the driders.
Good.
So, 18.
To the driders or to the Duragar?
The Duragar.
Because I mean, logically, you could see if it belongs to the driders. I mean, that's fine. I mean, Duragar use bows.
This is a very nice bow.
Right.
They look like they're very nice.
It looks almost elven to you.
Okay.
But like those filthy forest elves. You.
Okay. So it doesn't belong to these guys. But I need to search for more clues.
Okay. Are you going to do it from a distance, or are you going to try to get closer?
See, this is why I was wondering if spiders can smell well.
Well, you can smell just as good as your human can. Like, you can use your human sense of smell. Rather, your drows sense of smell.
And I'm like, okay, I smell the bow. What do I smell from this bow?
It just smells like
a bow.
Like a bow. You don't have a magical sense of smell. No.
Okay. I am going to call out an arachnid and try to see if any spiders will answer my call.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Hello, my friends. Is anybody here?
Let's see.
Like,
Yes, you do find one, and I just want to see something. Interesting. Okay. There is one that is maybe about halfway from where you're at, like to where they're at, kind of at the edge of the little bit of a clearing that they are sitting in. He squeaks back.
I'm here. What do you need? Is there anything else in that campsite besides the two driders and the two, what that one's called?
Drow.
They were drow?
No, sorry, not Drow. Durgar.
Durgars.
There's a talking bag.
Woof. Okay.
Anything else I can help you with? Want some flies?
Maybe later. Maybe later we'll come have some flies. Okay, so this is character thought, not to the spider. So I have a feeling it doesn't belong to the Durgars, and I have a talking bag here. I feel like I want to get the talking bag then.
Okay.
So first thing, just in case, I'm going to use bar skin.
Bark skin?
Yeah, bark skin.
Okay.
So that's one of my slots. So now I am armor class 16 for the next hour. And I am going to try to sneak.
Okay. Roll a stealth roll.
That's a 1.
So,
Of course.
best one ever.
Yes.
As you sneak into camp, you're so busy like watching the Duragar that you don't notice the massive Drider leg that you step on, waking up the Driders. As they shift and clatter, they make a like chittering. I guess the only way I could maybe describe it is a chittering scream of discomfort from being awoken from their deep slumber by a drow stepping on their leg. They are up and like moving around. Meanwhile, the two gentlemen who were sleeping wake up, and I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Since they were asleep, though, do I have advantage on initiative?
Oh, you lost it when you stepped on the Drider leg. But you thoroughly lost it. Okay, so rolling initiative.